Hey, if you're just joining me, I'm hanging out with Crystal Asigi. You've got to find her on YouTube. And you'll notice that I'm not going too much into her story because that's what Blind Girl Manenos will be all about. That's her series on her YouTube channel. But Crystal, here's the thing. There's somebody listening and watching us right now who's thinking, so she found out at 14, what could we have known? And I remember, 2 videos back, you were talking about the fact that at some point you thought, oh, I can't see well from the back of the room. So you move forward.
Yeah.
But you must remember, for a student at school, there's a teacher and a parent thinking, you're being lazy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happened to me.
Oh, really?
Yes. And teachers couldn't understand why I wasn't wanting to read out loud in literature class. I used to, you have to stand in front of the room and read a poem.
Yes.
And I just used to be like, no, miss, I don't want to do it. Or no, sir, I don't. And they just be like, Crystal, you're going to go into detention if you don't do this.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And even the optician themselves, the one I used to use before going to the actual eye clinic in Lighthouse, used to tell me, okay, read those, the letters on the board. I was like, I can't see the line. And he was like, and telling me, can you read them? Why are you faking? Why are you joking? This is not a joke, Crystal.
Oh, right.
Yes, I can never forget that doctor. He really laid into me at that time. And my mom got so annoyed because she was obviously protective of me.
Yes.
And she pulled me out of the optician and just said, we're not going to go back. And I said, I don't want to go back there either.
Yes.
Stopped going. But that's the problem. It's that when a child says something, an adult usually thinks that they're
playing.
Exactly, because they're a child.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that they don't have, the brain to know.
Yes,
exactly. And they're mature enough to know what's happening in their own body. I'm sure even if they're not mature enough to explain all that it is, they can at least say, Mom, I cannot see. I don't understand it, but I can't see. Yeah.
So if you take nothing out of this conversation is, if your child is not being naughty, which is what children do, why don't you check it out anyway? Check it out. You've got nothing to lose.
Triple check, quadruple. I would say do all the checking that you can. Go to a second doctor, third doctor, so that you really give your child or whoever it is that you're talking about a fighting chance to nip that thing in the bud, basically, as soon as possible. Because that's what could have happened for me. If I knew what glaucoma was when I was 14 years old, perhaps I could have had the treatment to save whatever eyesight I had back then.
Okay, so now, you said something very interesting to me earlier. You said, I don't consider myself disabled.
I don't. I think that society has put a very negative connotation on that word, which is the absolute problem.
It's a crutch
now. Exactly,
yes.
and I don't need fixing. I'm not broken. I don't need to be fixed. I don't need to be changed. I don't need to be, given some sort of a cure or a healing from someone in a hospital. If it happens, then great, absolutely fine. But the point is that disability makes it sound like there's something wrong with me, like I am not good enough for society to deem me as normal, whatever that means. And so I'm like, just because disabled for me, it means not able, like I was saying to you. So if I can ride a bike and someone else can't, do I call them disabled? If I can speak Portuguese and somebody else cannot, are they disabled? I don't call them disabled.
True.
Things like that. It's just common sense, I feel. And once you say that to a person, especially if it's a child, their confidence plummets.
And it's all in here, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a mental thing, absolutely.
But also, being lonely in a world of sighted people, or even in a room of sighted people, what is that? It's such a different meaning came to me when I first started losing my eyesight about loneliness. I could be, sitting doing music in a room full of other musicians, or at a concert performing at a gig, or just in a room in a restaurant, or anywhere with a social setting, at a party, and I would just feel so lonely. Because as much as people are trying to give me verbal descriptions like, oh, Crystal, this is happening, or so-and-so just walked into the room, oh, this is in front of you, a drink has just come in front of you. The point is that you can't see, and so you feel that you're excluded from that moment, that experience. And also, it hurts, it really hurt me because memories were not the same anymore, because, for you to keep a memory, you have to really see it, exactly. Yes. So for me, I remember what things felt like, what things sounded like, but I can't remember what things looked like. And so what's going to be your memory of our time together, other than the fact that I have a wicked sense of humor? That's it. I mean, things like that. You know what I mean? Like, boom, there you go. But like, for example, this amazing place that we're in right now, I can't really appreciate it because I can't really see it. sadly.
But I did describe it to you, so I
Yes,
think
you
it's very
did, you
important
did,
I tell
you
you.
did, you
We're
did.
sitting in the Davidoff room. The Davidoff room is a cigar lounge at the Kempinski, and it's grand. It's very grand. And there's a part where we will not show you where the drinks that are out of my pay grade are. Yeah, I mean, like I told you, if I had one of those, we're not going to the bathroom for a while. No, we're not. We cannot pay that kind of money. No, we can't.
Away.
So, you know, I'm not going to end it here. I'm now going to pass every person on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, on all my digital platforms to your channel so that you can carry on this conversation.
Absolutely.
Pick it up. What's your mission with Blind Girl Manenos?
It's to educate people, a bit of edutainment, basically.
Yes.
Entertainment, education, spread awareness about VIPs, not just about glaucoma, which is a massive disease that affects Kenyans. 20,000 Kenyans affected every single year with glaucoma alone. So also just stigma and discrimination, those things should be in the past, to be honest with you. If I had to go through it so that I could help somebody else not go through it, then I've done my job. And the music as well really helps, get me through lots of times.
You have two things. You got a fantastic singing voice. You can really hold a note. And you have a fantastic speaking voice.
Thank you.
And keep that. You've got a smile in your voice when you talk. And I don't know whether it was part of training, it comes naturally to you. But I think you'd be fantastic on radio.
Someone has told me the same thing.
I think you'd be fantastic on radio. If you're hiring, look for Crystal. I'm literally pimping you.
Thank you. Do. I need a pimp.
Yes, I am pimping. She's awesome, and she's got a great personality, and she comes very, very self-equipped.
Absolutely. I'm very self-efficient. I'm very independent nowadays. I mean, I don't ask anyone for anything, hardly. People usually say, you don't need anything. Are you sure? And I'm like, no,
and you did a video on that.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I'm absolutely fine.
How to handle VIPs.
Yes.
So you notice I watched it and then I have not done this nonsense.
I like it.
No, I don't play that game. I don't play like that. So
You've been told,
I'm not saying goodbye.
Yes.
I'm actually telling you, go to Crystal Asigi's YouTube channel and carry on the conversation from there. And if you're looking for somebody special for your radio station, look for her. I think she is the next big thing. And I don't say that about very many people, you know me, because I was the big thing, you know what I mean? And that's how we'll end this. Thank you, Crystal.